On this week's show, we're headed to White River, Ontario, and flying into Agich's Kaby Kabins for walleye, pike, perch, or whatever bites the end of our line.
Hey, I've been fishing in Ontario for well over 40 years and have some great fishing memories, not to mention some very close friends. Ontario has some of the best multi-species freshwater fishing in the world. Ontario has a special place in my heart. The Ontario experience captures all of this and more as hosts Troy Linder and Sjodin explore new places, meet some authentic characters, and experience world-class fishing and hunting along the way. The Ontario experience is the next best thing to going on the adventure yourself, and who knows, this unique show just might give you some ideas for your next fishing or hunting trip.
I couldn't have been more excited about this trip to Agich's Kaby Kabins in the Algoma region of Ontario. Fishing for walleye, pike, and perch, pretty hard to ask for more action-packed potential. But first, I'd have to board a float plane at White River Air, who specialize in safe and efficient travel to destinations like Agich's Kaby Kabins. We no sooner got my gear packed than it was time to take off. All I gotta tell you, my adrenaline was already pumping. Then before I knew it, we were there. Stu and his staff were there to meet me at the dock and get my gear unpacked. Talk about friendly service. As far as the accommodations, I couldn't have asked for anything more inviting and comfortable. We drove in to White River, which is in the Algoma region of Ontario last night. Little fun fact about White River, it is the home of Winnie the Pooh. We spent the night in a hotel last night, got up bright and early, flew into Agich's Kaby Kabins. We're gonna go get checked in, unpacked, hit the lake, and see what it has to offer. I have a feeling, from what I've seen on their social media page, there is a ton of walleyes and a lot of northerns too. Let's get this thing going. Stuart, you ready to go catch some fish?
Let's go. Let's see if we can get Moby Dick there.
Can't wait. I like the sounds of that.
Okay, we're gonna head down towards Whitefish Bay.
A little deeper.
Little deeper water down there,
A
yep.
little bigger fish probably maybe.
I hope so, yep.
Sweet, let's go find them.
Yep, let's get at her.
So this apparently is Stu and his wife's favorite spot, so don't tell anybody. I guess they come out here and absolutely annihilate the walleyes.
I hope so today.
So we'll see what happens. It's nice and rocky bottom, so they should be sitting in there at about
14 feet.
14 feet. Stu's got a jigging middle. I'm gonna see if I can outfish him with a jigging wrap.
Yeah. I hope we outfish you today. Bring you down to the sacred spot and all. Wouldn't be the same to go home with skunked. There's one.
There's a fish, he's on the board. Might be a pike.
Could be. Taking off like one. There's a little weight to him though now.
We'll just say it's a big walleye. Oh, that's not a bad one, Stu, huh?
First one of the day, there we go.
Sweet.
Not Moby, but.
There you go. It's not a bad first start. Sweet. Oh, these things are so pretty, aren't they?
Short lunch?
Yeah, we could have some shore lunch. Which
Yeah.
side you got it in there? You're not going to talk me out of shore lunch, that's for sure. This segment is brought to you by Tourism Northern Ontario. Got him.
Oh, feels like another nice one.
Walleye. Walleye for Stu. Another eater. Got him. There you go. Sweet. Popped right out for you.
Did it?
Yep.
There we go.
Easy.
Get that into there.
Sweet. That's a good eater.
Yeah, that's a good eater.
Looks like we're eating some shore lunch today.
Yeah.
2 in the box. Stu is doing better than I am with the jig in the middle. I did lose what I would think could be a pike on this jigging wrap, but it seems like every time we go over this, it's just a little drop off or coming off, and we either get a bite or we get a fish. So we're not fishing a very big spot. It's a spot on a spot. So we might have to even think about anchoring if possible. It's a little windy, so it makes it tough, but otherwise we'll just make short drifts. But we got 2 in the box. We're gonna have a nice little shore lunch for sure. Oh, there's one. On the board. Oh, walleye, 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 walleye.
I can't get the net.
I'll flip them over. On the board, Stu.
There you go.
You
I
know,
don't feel guilty now bringing you this far down the lake.
you know, sometimes you gotta go with what works. Stu was using a jig in the middle. I did lose one on a jigging wrap, but he had me down 2 zip, so I had to be smart and switch to a jig in the middle. And boom! We actually all we're doing is we're trolling back into the wind and then making a drift. So it's just a little spot on a spot. It's not very big. So these walleyes are stacked up there, but they're on a super small spot. So they don't seem to be. It wasn't a huge
Nope.
school, but it's a big enough school to fish. So
Yeah,
we'll throw this one back. It's a little
Okay.
bit small.
you got it. Oh,
And this.
yeah. Small one, I think. There it is. I got him again.
Got him that time.
Yeah.
Same rock, same spot.
Coming straight at me now. It feels like you might have a little bit of weight to this one.
Got some weight. There it is. That's a fighter. That's not a bad one there.
Nope.
Nice fish.
I guess you can eat tonight.
Yeah, yep. We're all eating tonight, huh? It's a fat one. Boy, they're nice
Look at
and
that.
healthy in the system, aren't they?
Yeah. That they are.
Oh, I got one too. I just kept my line out there, but I set the rod down and picked it up after I netted his fish, and guess what? Double!
Oh yeah.
It's really interesting. These fish do not want anything erratic. I was using a jigging wrap and I did lose one, but dragging just a jig with a minnow, or even jigging plastics would work too right now, but you're not giving it a whole lot of erratic action at all. It's just that you're basically dragging it along the bottom and they're coming by, they want an easy meal and they're just picking it up. With that right there, the great Kaby Kabins walleye for shore lunch. So we're gonna eat good tonight. This segment is brought to you by Go Fish, Ontario, Canada. So we're out for our first full day. Stu and I are gonna go after some more walleyes. Yesterday we got in the lake after we flew in, caught a bunch of walleyes. But for now, we're gonna spend the morning, go after some more walleyes, maybe even get in some nice northern pike as well. See what happens. And you know what? This lake is called something besides Big Kaby. What is the actual name?
It's called Kaby Nakagami.
Kaby Nakagami. You know what? I'm gonna keep it simple, call it Big Kaby. Anyway, they've been catching a bunch of walleyes out here in northern pike. Stu's got us on some couple good spots. I look up, the weatherman predicted 70% chance of rain. It looks sunny to me. We're gonna take it, spend the day, catch a bunch of fish, see what happens. There we go. There we got one. Boy, they're just sucking it in. Not a very big one, but a first walleye of the day.
Small guy?
Yep, just a little one. Good start. There's a lot of walleyes where we're at right now. They're just scattered. All I'm using is a 3/8 ounce tungsten jig with the traditional minnow. Tungsten is awesome because it's actually more dense. This is actually a 3/8 ounce jig. But look how small that is. These walleyes are real lethargic. They're not active. All we're doing is just dragging these jigs on the bottom. I'm not lifting it up. They're just picking it up as we're dragging it along. It's the key right now. I mean, I've used other baits. Jig and wraps are obviously really effective, but right now they don't want that erratic jigging. They just want something dragging right in front of them where they're picking it up.
Oh yeah, he's fighting.
It's a better one.
Little rocket.
They definitely fight and they're fat. Perfect shore lunch walleye. There again, just dragging that minnow along, right? You're not doing any kind of jigging action or nothing like that.
Just where it starts to get shallow to the deep on the edges. That's where they just seem to be laying right there. You just drag it up the top, and then as soon as it hits the top there, that edge, that's when they hit.
There's one. There's a fish. Dragging minnows. Jigging minnows. The ticket, Stu.
I think so. It's a little
It's
better.
a little better one.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Quit. They're lively when they get in the net, that's for sure. Look at that thing. Absolutely buried that jig. So it's not that they're not feeding. They just want a really super easy meal. So, you know, don't overthink it. Just give them what they want. I mean, you're talking a beautiful eating Kaby Lake walleye.
As soon as you break into that 9 and 10 feet of water, that
They're just sitting there.
Yep.
Sitting there waiting for an easy meal. Like right there, look at. Try to give it to him a little bit. Make him swallow it a little bit more. Got him, huh?
You got a header.
Double! Boy, it's just one spot, isn't it? Just a little hole. Well, this is a little better one.
Oh yeah, beautiful. A couple of nice ones. Brothers and sister.
Jig broke, or my line broke, but they're there. Those are a couple of, it's a pair of awesome shore lunch fish right there, double header. Again, we're only fishing, it may be 20 yards wide by 20 yards wide, and every time we go over it, boom, double header. We love those type, right? You know they're hitting when you're catching two at a time. Pretty common out here on Big Kaby.
Yes, it is.
Lots of walleyes. Cool. I mean, if you're gonna keep them to eat, these would be perfect size.
These are the best ones to eat right here.
We're gonna let these go. So as you can see, we actually moved into another spot. It's a little less windy here. We got a front that's moving in. We knew it was coming. We thought it was actually gonna get here last night. There was about 70% chance of rain last night into today. We actually woke up, we got lucky. The lake was flat, calm, maybe 5 miles an hour, and it was sunny. But the front is now moving in. It moved in a little later, so you know you got to be real careful when you're on these big bodies of water. Kaby is about 30,000 acres, so if you're on the wrong side of the lake, it can get kind of dangerous. So you got to be heads up on the weather and watch the wind. And so we moved back into a little cove, and hope we can catch a few walleyes back here and maybe hook into a big pike too. So see what happens.
Did you know that besides large and plentiful walleyes, muskies, pike, lake trout, smallmouth bass, and other species, Ontario is home to some monster jumbo perch? Absolutely, there are numerous waters throughout the province that are home to perch in a 12 to 14-inch range with some serious potbellies. In fact, the current Ontario Record Fish Registry, OFA.org, provincial record for yellow perch is listed as a giant 2.46 pounds and a 15.25-inch length, and with a 13-inch girth. Angler Angelko Propalik caught the fish on Lake Erie on a minnow, May of 2018, narrowly edging out his own former record caught in March 2010 on Lake Sinclair. A fish that was 2.45 pounds, 15.5 inches long with a 12-inch girth. So if jumbo perch are on your list, better make sure Ontario is at the top of your list.
One of the most important things that you want to bring on these Ontario trips is great rain gear. Not good rain gear, great rain gear. Because you do not want to get wet and have to cut your day short. Spend more time on the water, catching more fish, bring great rain gear.
There's one.
You got one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just switched over and sure enough.
I don't think he's very big, but he's a fish. Well, maybe not. Oh, he may got a little bit of weight to him. Oh yeah, he's nice.
A walleye. Get in the net, get in the net. Nice job.
Finally,
On the board, in the heavy winds.
bouncing around.
There's a good one, huh?
Yeah.
On the board.
Finally, yeah, and the 4-foot waves were finally trying to get something.
Still, they're just the water temperature went from, what did you say it was,
It's
like
61 yesterday to 57
57.
today.
Anytime you're doing that with walleyes, you got to slow it down and just keep it right in their face. And that's what we did. We just got jigs and minnows and just crawling along, almost sitting still, going into the wind, and picked one up right away. So, cool. Let's throw a couple in the live well for shore lunch.
Another one.
Another one. We got her figured out over here. Oh, oh. Saw the boat.
Come on.
Might be our money fish here. Snoop. There we go. They just fight.
Another nice one.
Another great eater.
Yeah. Took us a while. We swallowed this one.
They're not slamming it, but they're definitely swallowing it when they get it. Another one for the live well.
Took us a little bit of time, but I think we finally found the school in this bobbing around in the lake.
There's one, got one. Right underneath the boat. Perch, look at that.
Oh, nice one.
Hey, this is something that I saw you guys had on your website. They've got some beautiful jumbo perch up here. And this time of year, he said that they're a little bit tougher to find, but I kind of figured we might run across a few by accident. I mean, this is a jumbo, but they get out to here. They get really big. They get like up 14 inches, you said?
Yeah, we got average between 12 to 14.
But these are great, table fare as well. We're gonna throw this one back, but what a beautiful fish. One of the great things about Agich's Kaby Kabins, besides the gorgeous scenic views right out of the cabins, is the walleye spots aren't far away, making for quick and easy trips each morning, or whenever you want to hit the water to get on fish. Speaking of the cabins, they're pretty deluxe. Clean, comfortable, and really serve a home away from home. You really won't want to leave. With lots of room for any size crew or family, they've got all the amenities, big kitchens, hot water, showers, and modern bathrooms. And again, the views of the lake just can't be beat. I'd be seriously remiss if I didn't mention how awesome Kaby's shore lunches are, which I've had all over the country fishing for a living. But the way they do it simply is top notch. Perfectly fried walleye and cast iron over an open fire, and then there's all the fixings too. Sure to leave you with a full stomach.
I wasn't really into cooking until we bought the business, but I have to say my mother-in-law and my grandmothers were both fantastic cooks, and I kind of fell into it, and now I just love doing it. We do it for 5 months a year, and haven't had a complaint yet. Everybody seems to like the fish, everything else we do, which is a good thing. Keeps the repeat business returning.
No kidding. Not only is the fishing outstanding at Kaby Kabins, and will keep you coming back. I'll be thinking about the shore lunches for weeks to come. Talk about good food and some great camaraderie. Everybody swapping fishing stories and sharing jokes. In my opinion, there's really nothing better, especially since they're happy if you get in line for seconds or even thirds. It's hard to believe it's already time to pack up and head to our next Ontario experience. We had a blast here at Agich's Kaby Kabins. You know what? If you want to find a place that has awesome accommodations and people that treat you like family, call Stu and Donna at Agich's Kaby Kabins. They do it right. Big Kaby Nakagami, hey, I said it right. Or Big Kaby has some amazing walleye fishing. We got into a ton of them on this trip. We got into a few pike. We didn't get the big ones, but the weather did not permit it. We got pretty windy, so we couldn't get up to the deep pike. We even got one of those big perch that Big Kaby is famous for. You know what? It's been an awesome trip. It's time to head to our next Ontario experience. It's been flat out a fun time.